Right, so we go on into this one here. So this is similar to everything you've been doing there in the past. This is long division. So we've got long division. It's written slightly more complex looking, and it's not really. It's the same thing. It's just kind of bringing functions in, or bringing your understanding of functions into long division. So we'll just look at what's going on here. So what's going on at the minute is you've got 2x minus 3 being multiplied by f of x. I'm just going to put that in pink. And we're saying that that is equal to 2x cubed minus x squared minus 7x plus 6. Okay. We're asked to find the value for f of x. So you can see here we have an equation. What's happening here is I'm multiplying f of x by 2x minus 3. So in order to get f of x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 2x minus 3. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2x minus 3. And you can see here that if I divided the left-hand side by 2x minus 3, I'd be left with just f of x. So if I divided this side by 2x minus 3, this would cancel, and I'd be left with just f of x, which I have here. But if I divide the left-hand side by 2x minus 3, I have to divide the right-hand side by 2x minus 3. So I'm just going to bring that down, and I'm just going to turn it into a fraction. I'll actually bring this down, yeah. So by 2x minus 3. Okay. Okay, so I've just shrunk them down there because otherwise we wouldn't have enough room on the page. Okay, so I'm going to start my cubic here, or start my long division here. The fact that it's a cubic tells me that there's going to be 3 cycles, so I just had to shrink this down to make room so that it'll all fit on the one screen. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by laying this out. So I'm going to write this over here, and I'm going to divide it out. So let me just take that there. Okay, and I'm going to divide that by, oh, things just jump around a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to divide that by 2x minus 3. Okay, so I start off there by following my my rules back here. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is divide. So I'm going to see how many times 2x divides into 2x cubed. So 2x divides into 2x cubed, x squared times. Okay, so I'm going to start off with divide, and that's going to end up being x squared. I'm just going to verify that. 2x times x squared gives me 2x cubed. So that brings me on to the next step, which is multiply. And I just checked it there, but I'm going to do it again. So 2x times x squared gives me 2x cubed, so I'll fill that in. 2x cubed. Next, I'm going to have to multiply the second term. So negative 3 times x squared gives me negative 3x squared. And that brings me on to subtract. So draw my line, change my signs. So this is going to change to a negative. This is going to change to a positive. I can see here that these two will cancel. And now I'm looking at these two here. So if I have negative 1x squared and I add 3, think of it like you owe the bank €1 and you lodge €3. You'll now have a positive 2 in the bank. Okay. And I'm just going to bring down this term here. Minus 7x. Okay, so that's my first cycle complete. And you can see here I divided this into these terms here. Now I'm going to bring down this and divide this into this. and that will give me something down here. And if I bring down that, I can divide that into whatever's left down here. So you can see how it's going to unfold, right? So we'll go back and we'll look at the next step, which is divide. Okay, and I'm going to divide 2x into 2x squared. So 2x into 2x squared will leave me with plus x. Now we need to verify that, so let's just check. 2x times x is 2x squared, so I know that's correct. That brings me on to the next step, which is multiply. So I'm going to have to multiply these, and I'm going to start by saying 2x times x is 2x squared. The next step is negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x. So that's my second step done there, which was multiply. So now I'm on to the third step, which is subtract. So I'm just going to draw my line, change my signs. And again, the reason why I'm changing my signs is very obvious, because I'm subtracting 2x squared. So you can see there I'm subtracting 2x squared. And here I'm subtracting negative 3. And if you subtract a negative, it turns into a positive. Okay? So I am subtracting, but an easy way to do that is just to draw your line and change your signs. So they'll cancel. And here I'll be left with minus 4x. Again, I'm going to have to bring down this term here, which is a plus 6. So that's my second cycle done. You can see there that I've completed 2 cycles. So that's the second cycle done. Because it's a cubic, it'll have 3 cycles. So I'm going to start the third cycle now by dividing. So I'm going to see how many times 2x divides into minus 4x. Okay, so we're going to start with division. And 2x divides into minus 4x minus 2 times. Okay, just keep that tidy, that's a minus 2. So the next step there, we can verify that if you want. We better just verify it, but 2x times minus 2 is minus 4. So the next step is to multiply. And like we just did there, 2x times minus 2 is minus 4. So I can put in my minus 4x there. And now I have to multiply my negative 3 by a negative 2. And negative by a negative is a positive. 3 by 2 is 6. So I'm going to put in a plus 6. And the last step is to draw my line and change my signs, or to subtract. So draw your line, change your signs, and we can see there that these will cancel and these will cancel, and I'll be left with nothing here in my, well, nothing. Okay. So the question asked us to find f of x. Find f of x. So we found out that f of x there was equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Okay. So in other words, 2x minus 3 multiplied by x squared plus x minus 2 will give us 2x cubed minus x squared minus 7x plus 6. And we can see that here. Okay. And that's that.